Hey guys, Kai from Lovelawns, welcome to another video. This one we're just going to go through how to cut in a beautiful edge on your lawns and really frame your gardens slash your lawns. Two tools that you're going to need ideally is a whippy and a blade edger, depending on your preference. Some people prefer blade edgers, some people prefer just using the trimmer. I think for me personally, I'll use a blade edger if it's overgrown. Once I've established the edge with the blade edger, generally I can go along it with the line trimmer and that'll do a good, nice clean job, but that does take a bit of practice. So if you're new to the game, I'd recommend a blade edger of some sort, whether you use a combi tool like that or a dedicated edger such as an atom. Getting a nice edge to start with and then practice your edging with the line trimmer, because it does take a bit of technique to get that nice and straight. I'll just show you the two techniques now. And with the line trimmer, obviously some people walk backwards, some people walk forwards, they hold it up, they hold it down. You just got to find your own way with it mostly. You'll find a comfortable way that works for you after doing it for a little while. And then, yeah, just keep going, keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and you'll get really good at it. Like anything, I guess. So these are the two different ways that I do it. And yeah, seems to work pretty well for us. So we're using the blade edgers such as the Husqvarna 325 ILK with the attacher, with the edger attachment, such as this. You can have a bent shaft, as you can see here, or you can have a straight shaft. Doesn't really matter, they both do the same thing. It's just whichever one you can get hold of, or whichever one you feel comfortable with using. This one is the bent shaft. So I always tend to run the wheel on the actual concrete, on the curb, rather than this way, on the grass, because I just find you get a bit of a cleaner edge and it's a bit smoother to run along. So you just, after a while you get used to the placement of things, but generally there's a line along most of them that show you where the blade's running. After a while you just get a feel for it, but you get it going, tuck it in the edge there, and just slowly walk your way along. And I like to go forward. If it's not too long, like a really long strip, I'll just go forward and backwards, because I find that creates a cleaner edge, which I should demonstrate now. If it's a super long edge, I'll generally use an atom edger and I'll just go one way with it, because you haven't really got time to go back and forth. But with this one, it's only small, so I go back and forwards. As you can see, that gives you a really nice, super defined edge to work with. And then I'll show you on this next bit, we'll go up it with the trimmer, the line trimmer, and you can see the difference. So that's with the blade edger. As I say, go back and forth, and it just really tidies it up lovely. So when you're just using the line trimmer, such as this, you want to get your line out as far as it will go. And you want to really just use the tip of the line. You don't want to dig it in too much to get your edges. If you start digging it in, it can catch and really tear up the edge. So just the very tip of the line is the key. Get it running on normal speed. You don't need to go flat out for this. You're only just taking off the fluff off the edge really. So I tend to just hold it either up like this and walk kind of backwards like this, sideways, or I'll hold it in front of me and kind of walk like this and do it like that. Depends how you feel, you know, you'll get used to it. So remember, just keeping it lined. You want the string to be lined up against the right up against the grass. You know, where you want the line to be is exactly where you want the string to be. And again, this takes a bit of practice. Eventually you'll get used to it. So as you can see there, this is where the shadow's in the way, so this is where we pretty much stopped the blade edger, and then we continued on with the line trimmer just up to about there really, what you can see. So you know, you can see a small difference. Like obviously I do this all day every day, so I'm pretty used to it now. I've got quite a good technique, I guess, without blowing my own trumpet too much. But the blade edger will give you the easiest, straightest line in most circumstances. And then once you get good, you can get the very similar results with the blade, with the line trimmer, as you can see there, or at least I hope you can see in the video. So yeah, that's the two sort of techniques really that I'd recommend. The line trimmer obviously takes a lot more practice to get good and consistent results at a decent speed. And the blade edger takes a little bit of practice, but not too much, and that gives you super consistent results every single time, which is one of the reasons I'd recommend using the blade edger quite a lot of the time, because you're only ever going to go in, you know, that sort of half an inch away from the curb. It looks terrible when you sort of start cutting away and getting, you know, inch and above grooves in between the curb and the grass. So I don't recommend doing that. And sometimes if you do it with the line trimmer, you'll sort of get further and further in over the course of the year, and eventually you've got like a Grand Canyon in between the curb and the edge of the grass, which I don't ever recommend. That looks terrible. So you only ever want to be about sort of, you know, half an inch away, I reckon, just nice and tidy. And the easiest way to do that is with a blade edger, unless you do it a shed load, then you can do it with the line trimmer as well. But yeah, so there you go, that's how you get a nice crisp edge with two tools, the blade edger or the line trimmer. Alright guys, hope that was helpful. Thank you again. See you in the next video. Cheers.